Welcome you again. Today we are going to discuss one another important remedy which is Antimonium Tartaricum. The common name of Antimonium Tartaricum is a tartar emetics. We all know that the monsoon is coming and in a rainy season or in a monsoon there is an aggravation of a respiratory symptoms, rheumatic symptoms, cardiogenic symptoms. Okay, so we are going to discuss importance of this remedy in such cases. The aggravation of this Antimonium tartaricum is generally in a damp basement, in a cellars. Okay, so we all know that in a monsoon there is an coldness in environment, there is an uh, coldness in surroundings. Due to this, there is an aggravation of the respiratory symptoms and a rheumatic symptom. We can use this remedy when we have a aggravation in a winter or in a rainy season. Now the main action of this remedy is on a pneumogastric nerve. Generally there is a depression of the respiration and a circulation, but the important point is here is that the this remedy is generally depresses the pneumogastric nerve, and due to that there is a symptom of the respiration and a circulation. Okay, so remind this characteristic. We will compare this with the ipecac and we will see that the importance of the both the remedies in a condition in which the pneumogastric nerve is affected. Now, the most important part of this remedy is that when the patient cough, appears to be a large collection of mucus in a bronchi. It seems as if a large would be expectorated, but nothing's come up. Okay. So this is the most important symptom of this remedy, that we all know that when the patient come inside our OPD and when we inspect the patient, we will found the patient chest is so much loaded with the mucus, but there is a no expectoration. Okay, the cough, the character of the mucus is a wet. Okay, we all know that there are two major types of the cup, the dry cup and the wet cup. In an Antimonium tartaricum, the cup is so wet that we get the actual haziness or actual rattling without stethoscope. Okay, so this is the character of the cup, but even in a such character we don't found any expectoration, and that's the problem with the Antimonium tartaricum. Due to this, due to the this scantiness of the cough, we found the breathlessness, cyanosis, even a abdominal respiration, even a dyspnea. We found all such symptoms due to the scanty expectoration and cough which is having so much loaded with the mucus. Okay, so this is the important symptom in an Antimonium tartaricum. Now in a children, the child generally clings to those around, wants to be carried, cries and whines if anyone touches him. So we found that these symptoms are familiar with a chamomilla, that the child clings to those around, means he wants someone to hold. Maybe it's furniture, maybe it's a mother, maybe anyone who is around. In a stramonium, we also found this symptom, which is also a mark. Okay, now the important symptom again is the tongue is coated pasty thick white with a reddened papillae and a red edges. So we all know that in a respiratory diseases, generally in a acute infections, we found that the coating on a tongue is a common symptom. But in related with the Antimonium tart, we found that coating is so much thick that it is given like a pasty, means like a paste and thick. Okay, so this is the character of this remedy, that we found the thicky coated tongue which is white in color with reddened papillae, and the edges of the tongue is a red. So this is the character of Antimonium tartaricum. Now the vomiting in any position, expect lying on the right side, vomiting until he faints, followed by prostration and drowsiness. So this is the important symptom, that vomiting in any position, expect lying on a right side. Now the great sleepiness or irresistible inclination to sleep with nearly all complaints. So this is again an important symptom with the Antimonium tartaricum, that the patient feels slow sleepy. Generally it has given in a desktop guide that the patient is sleeps like he is in a coma. Patient sleeps in a like he is in a coma, and this complaint or this symptom is generally aggravated when there is a cough. Okay, so when we found the children who is having so much cough, who is having so much mucus in his chest with a rattling sound, with a hissing sound, we can think about this remedy if there is an irresistible inclination to sleep. Okay, now the again important symptom is a aspexia neonatum and relieves the death rattle. Okay, so this is again important symptom in a aspexia neonatum. We found that this remedy is so important. So why so? Because in aspexia the patient is generally so much exhausted, patient is so breathless, and in aspexia we found that there is an less vitality towards the disease, means patient do not react to the uh, that disease, and there is an so much cough in his chest, and due to that there is an death rattle. Death rattle means there is an rattling sound is so severe that we found that the patient is can't able to breathe anyhow. So in such cases we can think about the Antimonium tartaricum. In aspexia we also found there is an dilatation of the nostrils. So dilatation of the nostrils is a important symptom in a as Antimonium tartaricum. But in relation with the lycopodium, we found there is a dilatation and uh, means spasmodic dilatation of the alanasi, and in Antimonium tartaricum there is a dilatation of a nostril or alanasi. So this is the important between both of them. Now the bad effect of a vaccination when thuja fails and silicea is not indicated. So here we found the thuja is a hot remedy and silicea is a chilly remedy. So we can use this remedy in a bad effects of vaccination, but when the thuja fails and silicea is not indicated. Now in a children's not easily impressed when Antim tart seems indicated in a cough, requires heparsa. So this is the clinical mm, symptom which we must know about, that when the Antimonium tartaricum is indicated in a cough related patient or a children, we must have to use heparsal before that. Okay, or after that, means in the cases of the Antimonium tartaricum of a children, we may need the heparsal. Now in a spring and autumn, when damp weather commences, cough and cough of a children get worse. So we have already discussed that the aggravation of this remedy is generally in a damp weather and in a wet weather. Yeah. So similar to lycopodium, but the spasmodic motion of LA is replaced by dilatation of nostril. So in a lycopodium, there is a spasmodic uh, motion of alanasi, and in a Antimonium tartaricum, there is a permanent dilatation of a nostril. Okay, so this is so important symptom in both of the remedies. Now Antim tart and ipecac comes very close because both having action on a pneumogastric nerve. So the action of the Antim tart is also on a pneumogastric nerve. Action of the ipecac is also on a pneumogastric nerve. But in Antim tart, it generally depresses the pneumogastric nerve, and in ipecac it generally irritate the pneumogastric nerve. So in one remedy there is a depression, and in one remedy there is an irritation. So what happens generally, when we found the cases of the ipecac, we found there is an clean tongue, we found there is an thrustlessness, we found the patient is so much better, but the actual disease comes very acutely, in very suddenly, means within a one day or within some hours the patient gets so much sick, so much cough in his chest, or so much mucus in his chest, because there is an irritation. So means there is a no infective focus. Due to the irritation there is a sudden onset of the disease in a ipecac, and in Antim tart we found there is an infective focus, and due to that the disease is generally progress gradually. But in Antim tart, which Antim tart is generally acute in pace, means the action of this remedy is generally for 20 to 30 days, but the pace of this remedy is generally acute, means we can use this remedy in acute conditions. Yeah. Now the here we also correlate this remedy with a loroshiriasis. In loroshiriasis, it generally there is an again a infective focus. There is an again a case of congestive cardiac failure. Okay. In such cases, we can use this remedy when there is an respiratory symptom with a cardiac symptom. We can think about a loroshiriasis, and in loroshiriasis the main important of that remedy, there is an low vitality, means patient do not react to the any of the remedies or any of the treatment which has given to him, and in such cases we can use the loroshiriasis. If even antimatat fails, or even if there is an no such relief with other remedies. So this is all about antimatat. We will discuss one another important remedy in next session. Till then, have a good day. Bye.